reheated that as a policy.
Reheated's a bit unfair. This is a massive policy that would give, you know, millions of people the right to do what I suspect you've already done and buy your own home.
So do you think, when you look at the policy from 2012 that you already announced, and even from the 1980s, a feature of the record of that policy is that you have not replaced the social houses? So it's easy to say you will not with this, and there'll be less central housing.
Obviously, it takes time to replace. You get the receipt from the house you sell, and you then need to spend that money in the same area building a new house, and that takes time. But the ambition of one-to-one replacement is absolutely there. And the difference and advantage with this policy, because we're saying that local councils should sell off their most expensive properties when they become vacant. Some properties in London, council properties, worth £1 million. With that money, you could build, you know, 8 flats for people on housing waiting lists, some of the poorest people in our country who'd love to be housed in the way that they're not today.
It just rather looks that you have this long-term economic plan, but just before an election, a series of short-term giveaways on housing, on pensioner bonds.
Well, I don't accept that at all. What is short-term about the right to buy? The right to buy your council house was not a short-term policy. It was a long-term, fundamental change in our country that gave millions of people who didn't have an asset the chance to buy and own a home of their own. I feel that deeply as a Conservative. That's something I want to see more of in our country. Pensioner bonds. It's not a short-term policy. It's saying to elderly people, you've retired, you've worked hard. Because of the financial situation globally, interest rates are low. So here's a way of putting your savings to work to give you a better standard of living. More childcare for working families. That's about helping people who want to work more hours or go back to work have that choice. These are long-term policies that we can afford to do because the long-term plan's working.